Welcome back, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. Hoy es el día número 38. It is day 38. Let's get right into it. Alright. Yesterday was not bad because it was conceptually like one thing. Like it was really conceptually one thing. And then we practiced stem changing verbs to round it out. So lots of bootstrapping. So let's hit it up. So yesterday was mes, right? Mes or meses. So enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre, and then we round up all the seasons, right? So primavera, and then we already had verano, otoño, and invierno. Then we're talking about weather. Nublado, viento, llueve, nieva, oscuro. Oh, yeah, oscuro. Frío. Oh, and then phrases. ¿Qué tiempo hace? Hace being the keyword. So we have like hace frío, hace calor. And also another way to say it would be como. Oops, I'm doing my accents in the opposite direction again. If you're curious why I keep writing my accents in the opposite direction, it's because in Spanish, the accent mark is tone 4 in Chinese. So like, que is que. It's not que. So this would be que in Chinese, but it's que. So I have a habit of marking tone 4. Right, como. Instead of como. There's como estás or como está. Está el tiempo. La tiempo? Oh no. El tiempo sounds fine. It could be different. So that's pretty much all of the stuff. I don't think there's too much. It's all grouped very neatly, so it's very easy to remember. It's conceptually very, very connected, especially things that come in a series. All right, so our podcast, pod 1. What was our pod 1? Also, Spanish is still review for the most part. The adventure had a lot of stuff. The adventure had some stuff that I'm not too comfortable with. So there's that. More on that in a bit. Secret rendezvous. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to spell rendezvous. French word probably. Oh my gosh, there's so many silence letters in it. Rendezvous. It's not like I don't know what a rendezvous is or what it looks like, but if I had to write and spell rendezvous, it's a different story. Secret rendezvous, of course, it was Lucy. And Lucy, it's two people talking about the weather. That's it. They were talking about the weather. And that's obviously code because it's so common. It's code for a secret meeting, obviously. I mean, who talks about the weather? Come on. Alright, pod 2. Whoops. Pod 2 was September and Autumn. This is such a weird title. September and Autumn, but it made sense after listening to it. September and Autumn was Lily. So it's a person talking about how much they like autumn, which is in September. It's like not cold, right, or not hot, right, and mild. It's mild. And I forgot what Lily said. Yeah. Other than weather is boring, right? Just not enthusiastic. I think she might have had a punchline about weather. I don't remember. It's fine. They largely all talked about weather. The last one was perfect weather. And it was Lynn. And this person was talking about spring weather. Spring-ish weather. April. Sometimes it rains, but overall it's nice, right? Nice and mild as well. Lynn had a funny comment, and man, do I wish I can remember these things. I don't remember anymore. Yeah, all three of them largely involve weather. The adventure was Baby Bird. Pajarito. Right, pajarito. A birdie was interesting. Pájaro. The baby bird. So we were at Vix again. It's Vix. Vix is a very popular place. Counter Vikram over here with all his stuff, his containers, his cup stuff, things here, right? And then we have a How do we do it? Maybe like so. So we have like a baby bird on a desk, right? And then we have a box here. Eddie's just chilling here, I think. At a table, always Eddie. And then Eddie's here chilling at the cafe. The newspaper. And then we have I don't remember. I think we're junior. Right. Junior. And this is Zadi. It might be Lily, actually. Actually, now that I think about it. Probably Lily. Or no. Or it could be whatever. But we have wall. Entrance to the place. So Junior is like, oh hey, there's a burb, right? And the burb like scared or get separated from their mother, right? And then Zani's like, oh, it must be cold, or it might be Bea or whatnot. It might be cold, so you should put him in a box. So you just yoink this box. Oh, or you yoink the bird and you place the you yoink the box and you place the bird in the box. And then they're like, oh, the bird is still cold. So you ask Eddie, and Eddie's like, hey, well, you could use the newspaper. And then now the bird has, now the bird is in the box with a newspaper. It's like, oh, the bird might be thirsty. No tiene agua, right? So you go to Vikram and get some. And get a bird. You get a cup of water, but then suddenly Big Burb, Mama Burb, shows up. So Mama Pájaro shows up. And you're like, oh, okay, and then suddenly the burb just teleports and they hug it up. I forgot how to say hug as well. They start switching tenses now. So like they're together now. They're going. There's a lot of verb tenses now in these adventures. So they're way ahead in the adventure than the lesson group. But interesting. Sometimes they bounce back and forth. But yeah, verb, pájaro and pajarito. Pajarito is the key word here. Anyways, still don't remember what Lynn said. It was, I thought it was pretty charming. All right, let's get to it. Memory is not going so hot. We'll make do. All right, let's get into our lesson. Yeah, lots of mistakes. Whoops. So let's look. Months, and then literal months, weather, rain, snow. ¿Cómo está el tiempo? So el, nublado, oscuro, invierno, sol. I forgot about sol. That would be nice to complement nublado. Fine. I did some background touch up on my the use of and I realized there's something that I keep forgetting. Is ascribed to all the verbs that deal with motion. That's what I keep forgetting. Motion verbs require or most of the time. And then I'm occasionally going over different situations with articles using a differentiating between definite and indefinite articles, because that's a very, very common occurrence that it's always nice to have a little backup on concepts instead of relying on memorizing from repetition. Right. All right, let's talk about interest, shall we? Oh, interesar, interesar. Ati, ati. Oh, back to the ati. So, recover. Gotta get used to these. A ti te interesa, interesa. I think it's next. Interesa el fútbol. Sí, me interesa. Oh, wait, actually.
¿A ti te interesa el fútbol?
Yeah, interesa. Sí, me interesa mucho el fútbol. A mi padre le encanta escuchar la radio. Yeah. Radio. A los chicos no les interesa este grupo. Also, I need to remember that the difference between using le encanta versus using encantar as a different way. So there are two different ways to use these types of verbs, and I gotta make sure I separate them, because sometimes you do have to conjugate these verbs depending on the context of the simple sentence here. But these are being used in a way of being interested. So it's conjugated to the group that is interested, right? So a los chicos no les, and then interesa, interesa, as opposed to like interesan, right? Este grupo. Nos interesa hacer otras cosas. Oh, and there are going to be times as well to ir al motion to do another infinitive, which requires as well. Me interesa mucho Duolingo. Interesar follows the same pattern as gustar and encantar, right? And only those specifically so far, and then the other ones do not. The other ones get conjugated with have only shown to be conjugated with a direct subject or a direct direct pronoun, a direct pronoun. Le gusta el fútbol, le interesa la música. Yeah. A mí, a ti, a él, a ti, a él, and a nosotros as implied. The function has a clarity. Yep. All right, let's get into it. No time like the present.
La foto.
Okay.
Una foto bonita.
One of the because photo, I think the bigger photo. Hold up. Yeah. This is feminine because I usually remember it as the full word. So, fotografía is feminine. So the shortened version, even though it ends with right, foto, it's la foto. Una foto bonita. Okay.
Me interesa ese chico.
Me interesa ese chico. Okay. Ese.
Me interesa mucho el fútbol. Me interesa
mucho. Me interesa mucho el fútbol. Oh yeah, and yesterday with the ase, using the ase where there's mucho and muy on both sides. Jeez, mucho and muy.
Me interesa visitar este parque de Madrid.
It's a oof moment because the English is not consistent. I think where mucho and muy goes in like multiple sentences and whatnot, they're there. But when you start reading from English to Spanish, you're like, well, very is not good enough. Very is just not good enough. Or really even is not good enough, in my opinion. me interesa visitar este parque de Madrid. A mí también. Okay, that's fine.
Nos interesa el fútbol.
That's okay. Soccer.
¿Te interesa este país?
¿Te interesa este país? Okay.
A ellos les interesa México.
A ellos. A ellos les interesa México.
¿Les interesa la música clásica? A nosotros nos encanta.
A mí también, pero a mi nuevo no. Novio, no nuevo. Novio. Alright.
A ella le interesa esta clase.
Fine.
¿Qué clase le
¿Qué clase le interesa a Manuel? Right, the A for the person.
Es una conversación interesante.
Conversación. Yep. Sions are usually feminine. Conversación.
Nos interesa esta conversación. Nos interesa esta conversación.
No te interesa.
¿No te interesa esta conversación? Conversación. Gotta stop doing that. ¿A Pablo?
A Pablo.
A Pablo le
Interesa.
interesa jugar al béisbol.
Jugar al béisbol.
Yeah, jugar is one of the ones that have in somewhat of an motion. It deals with motion. So you have an or like a relation to that. Sometimes I forget. It's not as clear as ir. We are interested in this conversation. Do we do like... Oh no, we don't have anos. Okay.
Nos interesa.
Nos interesa esta
Conversación.
conversación. Are you interested in this country?
Te
¿Te interesa
interesa
este país? Alright. Off we go.
El arte.
El arte. Of course, Oscar said that.
Nosotros dibujamos mucho en la
Dibujamos.
clase.
Okay.
Nosotros siempre viajamos en el mes de julio.
Viajamos en el mes de julio. Now, el mes de julio. Now, having a de there is interesting. And I think that's a grammar point for the phrasing el mes de month.
¿Te interesa el arte europeo?
Europeo. Interesting. I haven't used this term before. Europeo. ¿Te interesa el arte europeo?
Las pinturas del museo son importantes.
Pinturas. Well, we have pintar. This is the noun version. Las pinturas del museo, we have museore, son importantes. Again, review. So, del. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Ellos tienen
Ellos tienen conversaciones importantes. Artes.
Los mus...
Los museos son interesantes.
Europeo.
Europeo.
La niña dibuja muy bien. La niña.
¿Qué?
La niña dibuja muy bien.
Oh,
Dibuja.
dibuja muy bien.
Bien.
¿No te gusta esta pintura? A mí sí, Diego dibuja muy bien.
Lo siento, pero no me gusta.
Manuel.
Manuel siempre viaja a Francia. Right? So viajar also has motion. So, and then it would do to a location. I haven't been paying attention to that quite a bit. So it was nice to have that clarification again. A reminder like, oh yeah, that's right. That's where I kept dropping the occasionally. Todos los veranos ellas viajan a la playa.
Viajan. Marzo.
Marzo,
Nublado.
nublado,
Mes.
mes,
mayo.
mayo, yeah, mayo. Museo.
Yo.
Yo conozco mucho European people. Gente or personas, okay.
Conozco
Conozco
muchas personas
personas europeas.
europeas.
And people. Yes.
Muchas.
I shaken. Okay. Sorry, I'm triggered. Yo creo que esa pintura es interesante.
Interesante.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, lack of a better word, but that was a turn of phrase. Instead of saying I'm interested in the painting, that the objects are interesting. Esta pintura es muy bonita.
Yo
Yo
conozco a muchas personas
europeas. Europeas. Oh, that's kind of... Europa is kind of a little rough for me to say.
El básquetbol.
Of course, el basketball. El basketball. We've been using el baloncesto, right? Baloncesto. Hey.
¿Te interesa jugar hoy?
A nosotras nos interesa jugar al fútbol. Queremos ir al partido final en Barcelona. Partido? Yeah, that works.
Béisbol.
Not baseball. Football.
Fútbol. Partido.
Did I say baseball?
Me interesa.
Me interesa jugar al fútbol.
¿Por qué no jugamos ahora?
Okay. Nosotros siempre jugamos al tenis.
¿Te gusta practicar fútbol?
Practicar. Okay. Okay.
La niña juega en el jardín.
La niña juega en el jardín. Oof. Oof. It's fine. It's a friendly play. Whenever I think about like kids playing in the garden, I think about rip plants. A lot of times. That's a little bit of a cynical thought, but every time I think about a garden, I think about more of a Zen garden where like very well curated and partitioned plants and arranged and whatnot. And then when I think about kids, I'm like, uh-oh.
¿Cuál es tu deporte preferido?
Preferido. Preferido can end up being a turn of phrase for favorito. I think. Right. Favorite, yes. ¿Cuál es tu deporte preferido? Oh my gosh, it's ¿cuál es? Right?
Preferido.
Yeah, preferred. What is your favorite sport? Oh, what sport is your favorite? Oh, yeah. I'm already starting to arrange, going back to my old habits of arranging English as closely to like just as few steps as possible in arranging the English in the same order as the Spanish, which I do for Japanese and Chinese as well. It's not really that big of a leap.
Mi deporte preferido es el fútbol. Mi
deporte
preferido
es el fútbol.
el fútbol. Mi deporte preferido es el fútbol.
¿Quieres practicar básquetbol?
¿Quieres practicar básquetbol? Básquetbol. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Sorry.
Me
Lots of turn of
interesa
phrases.
ver un partido de básquetbol en Boston.
Boston. No, yo no. Es demasiado perezoso. That kind of works though. Juan también es su deporte preferido. Oh yeah. That kind of works though. Like, is it like I'm interested to see a basketball game in Boston? It's like, no, I don't. No, I don't. And he's very lazy. Or the other person is very lazy. It's like that's fine.
¿Cuáles son tus libros favoritos?
Oh, ¿cuáles? Oh no, ¿cuáles son tus libros favoritos? Yeah. It's kind of like I wonder if they have quiénes coming up soon. ¿Cuáles son tus libros favoritos? And then they're changing between favorito and preferido to show. Again, not about oftentimes I feel like the general gist of things is to constantly keep the complexity of the sentence and the statements lower, but at the same time constantly flipping and connecting the different words that might be similar because of the lack of context, right? There's not enough context to nuance between them, but that's something that triggers a lot of, in my opinion, speakers who are conditioned to only speak a certain way because they already know the nuance between them. But the idea is you build the foundation of interchangeable words, generalizable words, and then you find them in frequency in the wild. But what really conceptually makes Duolingo easy to group is often when you think of one word, you end up thinking about all the other words. And because they lack context, you wouldn't know which word to use, and therefore it could lead to an unnatural way of saying something. But the idea is you learn those words in groups, then you find them in the wild and you realize, oh, this is pretty much this, which I can use in aid of knowing which frequency. It's a different approach. It's formal education, right? Formal education. It's quite a bit. Alternatively, you can acquire all those words in those fixed situations, and then when you go to construct, you can choose to fix those like fix them in place too. And then maybe way down the line, when you become advanced and like super, then you become more flexible with your language. So then you start switching out words because you just wanted to say it that way, but you know what's a natural way of saying. So then you can intentionally sound unnatural or funny or personality or what have you. So I think ultimately in the long run, sounding identifiable and characteristically esoteric is something that is the element of advanced speakers, but it's optional for pragmatic speakers, the vast majority of native speakers. And then before that is less relevant because they are trying to expand foundation before having the nuance. But you can do all of them at the same time, I suppose. Like, for example, I personally do not gravitate very particularly to one style of speaking. I have an appropriate style for the appropriate occasion, but I do switch my diction a lot in English, which is what I'm doing right now if I'm explaining something. This is kind of like that. And then when I was learning in Hanzahiro and Wanikani, I made comments about, oh, interesting. I went over the difference between insinuation, assumption, presumption, allusion, inference. Most people now in colloquial, so the most native, quote unquote, native speak of English is to use assume. That's it, assume for all of them. So when you go around peddling what is natural, it's like that's probably a great shortcut, or not really shortcut, but direct line to sounding colloquial. And then afterwards, you get to decide if you want to expand your language, which obviously English, I've decided I want to do more with English. So I can sound incredibly verbose, harsh, make weird turn of phrases because I can, and they would sound incredibly unnatural. Largely because natural speech comes with colloquialism and vernacular as well. And I think a lot of times, most people, a lot of native speakers who have very pragmatic colloquial speak, use the word natural for common versus natural for correct. So both saying, oh, the natural way to say something, they're implying that it is correct mechanically, and also the right way to say things, and also it's common. But to me, in English, a maturation of the word natural is that it's natural because it's common to a specific group. It is neither insisting that it is the correct way, the grammatically correct way, or mechanically different from others. An unnatural statement can be grammatically correct, and it can also be used uncommonly. So the difference between an unnatural statement and a natural statement is that one is common, in my opinion, that one is common and one is not common. Now, due to the wielding nature, it's kind of like a bell curve. Advanced, even beyond advanced learners, would be more esoteric when they speak. So they can sound unnatural, even though they may be more competent than natural speakers. Like when it comes to like how natural someone sounds. Like if you go to a seminar, right? If you go to a seminar talking about something, a topic that you're like a specialized topic, right? And even their simple words and their arrangement of words will be unnatural to you. It will take a while to adjust. And that's kind of an example of specialized conversation. So in the long run, what am I saying here? It's great to be aware of all the above. I think it is definitely a very disappointing and disheartening thing that there's a normalization of discouragement when it comes to adherence to natural speak. What I'm speaking right now is highly unnatural for your average Twitch streamer. So I could say if someone is listening to me all the time and they decide, hey, I want to sound like that. Well, when you talk to someone else in like this space, you're going to have like, whoa, that's a weird way to say that. Why do you sound so weird? Like, you sound like you're reading from a book, or why do you use these words? They're unnatural words. So that's kind of how I feel about the low-hanging fruit situation. When someone comes by and they laugh and they say, I'm a native speaker. You say this, not that. It can come off as this and not that. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'll probably be able to discern it at some point. Right now, I like engaging with the language, but not necessarily engaging with people who constantly tell you that is not how you say things and that's not how you talk things. So it's a two-person thing. If you go around telling people like constantly while they're learning and trying to be interested in your language, and you go around saying, oh, not this, that, and that, the odds are those people don't want to talk to you either over time. So maybe if you, in my opinion, have a cognitive dissonance and you go around constantly correcting people, and you realize why people are constantly arguing with you even though you're correct, like if you believe you're correct, that's probably weigh in on that. I think that's more of a, yes, this person knows a lot about the language, but they lack communication skills, right? You can be an excellent person, you can speak a language really, really well, but you can lack communication skills. I think that's one of the things that come up far more. The bigger and more diverse the language is of users, not the language itself being diverse, but the users of the language. And I think if there's anything, being an English speaker and a Spanish speaker is at the top, near the top, where you're going to have the highest frequency of someone saying, this is how you say this, not this, and they're both correct. Like, how often does it's kind of like counting, how often does a British and an American person get in a bar and suddenly double take and hang on each other's words about how they say certain things, right? In Japanese and Chinese, maybe not so much, but Chinese is a special situation because Chinese people also hang out somewhere else, like mainland Chinese, and then Taiwanese is a far smaller population, so is Japan, and therefore they have like very restricted point of views. It's interesting.
¿Cuáles son tus comidas?
¿Cuáles son tus comidas favoritas? This is a personal opinion. That was a personal opinion. It's a hot take that I've been weighing on for a while. I don't think, no matter how long I'm gonna be doing this, maybe like 5 or 6 years, I don't think I'll ever come to a conclusion intellectually, out of sheer integrity and respect for other people that I talk to, that I would go around being pedantic and constantly telling them what is natural and what is unnatural. I think learning a target language in general at a later life for an adult is unnatural. Like, it's so not natural. So going around, another adult, another competent person going around saying, oh, it's perfectly natural, this is how you naturally learn this. It's like, well, no, it's not. It's like projecting your own experience. So you can meet halfway and it's like, oh yeah, it's not natural to think this way, but it's also natural for this. And then the other person meets halfway, right? But that is a sure sign, in my opinion, of competence while lacking emotional intelligence. Probably. We'll see how often that comes up in the future. I think things change because of the stereotype of seeing someone learn multiple languages, or maybe if I suddenly start speaking in another language as opposed to English, I bet the experience would change quite a bit. But I wouldn't trade it up because English is incredibly flexible and diverse in users. So it's kind of more of a, how would I say this? It is a double standard here, but relying on English conditions one, if you're someone like me, I suppose, if you find this relatable, finding ways to be emotionally intelligent in English supersedes the number of types of interaction you have in any other language. But debatably, other language closer to like Spanish and French. But so whenever a Japanese language learner comes by, or a Japanese native say, "Oh, this is how you say this is how you say this," it's like, yeah, I'll take it into advisement and I'll try my best to remember it. Largely because English will have far more of that conflict resolution than mostly any other language. Outside of like Spanish is close second, or kind of a far second. And I think those who speak English, when they speak their native language that might not be English, it really shows, in my opinion, in the way they communicate about their languages, even in English. Largely because I feel like those people, a lot of them, often avoid conflict and or problem solving and critical thinking skills to reach advisory level, like consultation level, where it's not predominantly a projection of their own biased opinions and their own bias, isolated, non-contextualized, culturally sensitive projection. So more of a ethnocentric type of approach. Like, oh yeah, you shouldn't say this, but you shouldn't say this, and then meanwhile another person comes in, it's like, well, we say this, so why? Then you have like 4 different people saying, oh, we say this, but we say this. Not so much for like Japanese and Chinese, a lot less so, right? But Spanish, Spanish.
Ellos.
It's actually refreshing how many people have opinions about Spanish, because it reminds me of what it's like to learn English or expand on English. It's not better or worse, it's different. So when you're learning Chinese and Japanese and talking about Chinese and Japanese, it's a very different feeling than talking about English and Spanish. Largely because of the diversity in users. Every time football comes up, you have some discussion opportunities. Ellos, wait, what time is it? Okay, I gotta keep track of time. Oh, okay, ellos juegan. Ellos juegan fútbol en el parque, Juegan al fútbol en el parque.
La
niña la niña juega or is playing.
juega
En el jardín. Okay. What are your favorite t-shirts?
¿Cuáles?
¿Cuáles
Camisetas.
¿Cuáles camisetas favoritas son tus?
Tus.
Wait. Oh, wait.
Son tus favoritas.
Yeah, that's fine. Alrighty. Last one. La radio.
¿Qué es esto?
¿Qué es esto? Yeah. Nani kore? Right? Nani kore it's really nice. ¿Qué es esto? Or is it nan kore? It probably a mix of those two, but ¿qué es esto?
Esto es muy diferente.
Esto es muy diferente.
Es muy diferente.
Esto es muy...
Esto es muy divertido. Why are they suddenly going to this again?
¿Hay partidos hoy?
¿Hay partidos hoy?
Volvemos a la oficina a las 3.
Volvemos a la oficina a las 3. The heck? Oh, going back?
¿Les interesa ver partidos de fútbol en Barcelona?
A mi esposo sí, pero a mí no. ¿Puede traer 2 cucharas, por favor?
Este grupo es muy bueno.
Grupo. Okay. This group is very good. Grupo might also qualify for team.
Grupo.
Or band. Okay. This band. Stood? What the heck is stood in this? Oh, okay. That's fine. ¿A ustedes les gusta este grupo?
Este grupo de música toca en Londres. ¿Te gusta el rock?
Ele just got lost in that. Let me hear it again.
Este grupo de música toca en Londres. ¿Te gusta el rock?
Yeah, like, oh dude, the L just got eaten. ¿Te gusta rock? A mí me gusta, pero a mi novia no. Okay, fair enough.
¿Qué asignatura te gusta?
Asignatura. Subjects? Yeah? Okay. Asignatura. Okay, what subject do you like?
Asignatura.
Asignatura. A mí me interesa la asignatura de what are you saying here? Español, inglés, porque quiero español. Porque quiero ir a España. Okay.
¿Quieres escuchar la radio?
¿Quieres escuchar la radio? Yeah, it's been a while. Although, I guess there's digital radio now.
Muchas fiestas son divertidas.
Fiestas. A lot of parties are fun. Okay. Fiestas.
Nos interesa hacer otras cosas.
Muchas otras cosas. Then this is a review. We are interested in other things, no? Oh, hacer. We are interested in doing other things.
Ella quiere estudiar otras asignaturas.
I didn't hear. Ella quiere asignaturas, ¿no? Otras asignaturas. ¿Quiere estudiar?
Estudiar. Ella quiere estudiar otras asignaturas.
Okay. Other subjects.
¿Cuáles?
What the heck?
¿Cuáles?
Oh. What happened there? ¿Cuáles?
Otras.
Probar.
Probar. Invierno. Agosto. The volume. Alright.
Yo
Yo conozco.
conozco.
You know, I gotta check something. No, they're fine. Wait. Yeah, no. He's still going. I'm going to continue going. Yo conozco muchas muchas personas
Europeas.
europeas.
No me interesa ir a esas fiestas.
No me interesa ir a esas fiestas. Okay.
A ellas no les interesa jugar al tenis.
The heck?
A ellas
Ellas
les
interesa
interesa
jugar al tenis.
tenis.
No?
No. A ellas no les interesa jugar al tenis.
Me interesa conocer otros museos.
Me interesa conocer otros museos. Getting to know. That's another way to say that. Getting to know.
Nos interesa hacer otras cosas.
Nos
interesa.
nos interesas hacer. No, wait, no, what?
Nos interesa hacer otras cosas. Nos interesa hacer otras cosas.
Jeez, that got lost.
Otras cosas.
That got lost.
¿Qué clase le interesa a Manuel?
¿Qué clase le interesa a Manuel?
Jugamos al béisbol en el otoño. Jugamos.
And my face always wince whenever I have to end a question or a statement or like a clause with a preposition.
Jugamos al béisbol en el otoño.
Jugamos al béisbol en el otoño.
Otoño.
Me interesa mucho esta pintura moderna.
Okay. A great way to put moderna in again.
Me interesa ver este pueblo europeo.
Europeo. What? Europeo.
Me
interesa
ver
el
pueblo
pueblo.
europeo.
Este pueblo europeo.
Me interesa ver este pueblo europeo.
Europeo. Esto es muy diferente. Esto es muy difícil. ¿Les interesa a ustedes ir a la fiesta? I like saying these things. Give me more of those. Just reading. I like reading Spanish. Spanish is fun.
¿Cuáles son tus libros favoritos? Clases. ¿Cuáles?
¿Te interesa la conversación? Eddie y yo queremos ir a México.
Sí, a mí también me interesa México.
Estas fotos viejas son estos. Fotos.
Me interesa ver un partido de básquetbol en Boston.
A Juan también. Es su deporte preferido.
Yo no dibujo bien.
Yo no dibujo bien. Oh, okay. Yo no dibujo bien. Okay.
Jugamos al
béisbol en el otoño. Béisbol. Otoño. Otoño. Español.
Otros deportes también son interesantes.
Otros deportes también son interesantes. Okay. Nosotras queremos practicar básquetbol hoy porque mañana tenemos un partido en otra ciudad.
Partido.
Okay.
Ellos
Ellos tienen conversaciones importantes.
Importante.
En las vacaciones nos gusta ir a fiestas, pero también hacemos otras cosas, vemos películas y partidos de béisbol, y escuchamos música.
A ellos hacer diferentes cosas. Diferentes is in front of cosas.
No me interesa jugar al tenis hoy.
No me interesa jugar al what? Tenis hoy.
No me interesa jugar al tenis hoy.
¿A ustedes les interesa el arte? Hay un museo en Boston muy interesante y solo hay pinturas de artistas americanos. ¿Quieren ir el sábado?
En el museo pueden ver arte americano. Yeah. Okay. ¿A ustedes les interesan las qué? De Dalí. Dalí no. Les interesa que arte europeo. So pinturas. Dalí. Nice.
Esto
Esto es muy interesante.
interesante.
Okay. Me interesa. Los grupos europeos. A ti te interesan la música.
Interesan.
Interesting. I see. Okay, so that's where the conjugation. Okay,
Yo
okay, I
viajo a
got
muchos países europeos. Yo viajo a muchos países europeos.
Yo viajo
Muchos.
people. Wait.
Yo viajo a muchos países europeos.
Muchos
Europeos.
países.
Yo viajo a muchos países europeos.
Interesting.
Yo
Oh,
viajo
because
a muchos.
it's a motion. It's a motion.
Nosotros
Nosotros dibujamos mucho en la clase. All right. Oh, this is my favorite part so far. Hands down, these are my favorite parts.
Una conversación interesante.
Oscar?
Bea está
it's Bea.
en el parque.
Hola, ¿puedo sentarme aquí?
Sí. Estoy esperando a una amiga.
Okay. I wonder who the person's Lean?
Ella va a venir con su novio.
Oh.
¿Sí?
Oh, that must be him.
Estoy muy emocionada por conocer al novio de mi amiga.
It's probably this guy. This guy is the boyfriend.
¿Por qué?
A ella le gusta mucho.
Ajá.
Interesante.
Ella le va a pedir matrimonio.
Oh.
Este fin de semana.
She's spilling the tea hard, man. That's a lot of tea. Buy a house with her boyfriend and propose to her boyfriend this weekend, yeah. Cute.
¿De verdad?
Sí, es tan romántico.
Romántico.
Ah, mi amiga está aquí.
Oh boy.
Hola, Gloria.
Oh, Gloria.
Hola, Bea. ¿Ya conoces a Leo?
¿Ya conoces a Leo? No. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
¿A quién?
¿A quién?
A mi novio, Leo. Ay, no.
Mucho gusto, Bea.
Oh, that's cute. Actually, that's cute. Romántico. De verdad. No, these are really cute. Han. Pedir matrimonio. Right. And fin de semana. That's a really cute one. Aw, so cute. Alright, let's
Una
do it again.
conversación interesante. Bea está en el parque.
Hola, ¿puedo sentarme aquí?
Sí, estoy esperando a una amiga. Ella va a venir con su novio.
Ah, ¿sí?
Estoy muy emocionada por conocer al novio de mi amiga.
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué?
A ella le gusta mucho.
Interesante.
Ella le va a pedir matrimonio este fin de semana.
¿De verdad?
¿De verdad?
Sí,
Es tan romántico.
Ah, mi amiga está aquí. Hola, Gloria.
Hola, Bea. ¿Ya conoces a Leo?
¿A quién?
¿A quién?
A mi novio, Leo.
Ay, no.
Mucho gusto, Bea.
That's such a cute. That's such a cute one. Alright. Mucho gusto. Estoy esperando. De verdad. Va a venir. En pedir matrimonio. Very, very cute. Alright. Gotta strap down for all the errors I'm going to type.
Foto.
Foto.
Invierno.
Invierno.
Junio.
Junio. Mes.
Siempre tenemos conversaciones interesantes.
Nos
interesa tu pregunta, Juan.
Estas fotos viejas, fotos.
A ellos les interesa visitar muchos lugares.
¿No te interesa esta conversación?
En Italia, a mí me interesa visitar museos y a mi novio solo le interesa ir de compras. Pero a veces vamos a un concierto.
¿Qué les gusta hacer juntos? Ir a un concierto.
Esta conversación me interesa mucho.
How do I? Oh, dang it! I hit the S. Dang. Okay. A ti y a mí nos interesa ver la foto de la ciudad. A mi papá le interesa conocer la ciudad. Okay.
Padres.
A padres les interesa jugar al tenis.
Tenis.
Are interested in playing. Oh, a mis padres, my parents. Nos interesa. Interesa in this. I don't think we need anything, right? Esta conversación. They're not interested in playing. Okay.
Ah.
Ellas. ellas no les interesa jugar al tenis. No me interesa. Oh, no te interesa. Interesa. Chica? Just can I get away with no article? I can. Oh, and odd T. Sure, right. Maybe we plug it in just because. Ella me interesa esta clase. Let's do like a mí. I'm very interested. Wait, but that's fine. Interesa mucho en mucho. Okay, and we don't really have to specify me. It was just
Europeo.
Europeo.
Invierno.
Junio. Arte.
Ellos viajan a lugares. Viajan.
Arte.
Noviembre.
Museo. Foto.
Queremos estudiar arte europeo. Arte. Queremos estudiar arte europeo.
Jeez.
Nosotros siempre viajamos en el mes de julio.
Los museos son interesantes.
Estos libros son importantes.
Esos libros son importantes para mí.
Los estudiantes dibujan en la clase.
Okay. Manuel siempre viaja a Francia.
El museo tiene
muchas pinturas interesantes.
Me encanta viajar a Europa y visitar museos en las ciudades más importantes. Ahora estoy en un museo de arte moderno en Madrid.
Technically, that's fine too. ¿Te interesan esas pinturas? ¿Te interesa ir al museo de arte conmigo? Okay. Los estudiantes dibujan en clase. Or I don't think clase is one of them. Yeah.
Las.
Oops. Oh, what the heck? What am I trying? Las pinturas del museo son importantes. I was like, what? What do las chicas dibujan muy bien? Oh, it's just the girl. Jeez. I don't want to talk about it. I guess we're gonna go with el arte de europea es interesante. Can I do that? No. Oh, you don't need the de? That's fine. I was just testing for, I guess it's considered nationality, so. Do you like this painting? ¿Te gusta esta pintura? Oh, a ti? Sure. So random. There's so many. So many random. Okay. Alright. We're fine. Things are fine.
¿Cuáles?
¿Cuáles?
Museo.
Sí. Arte.
Nosotros
Primavera.
jugamos al fútbol. Jugamos.
¿Te interesa?
¿Te interesa jugar hoy?
Jugamos al usamos, jugamos. ¿Cuál es tu comida preferida?
¿Te gusta
¿Te gusta practicar fútbol?
Nos interesa practicar deportes.
Practicar.
¿Por qué no jugamos ahora? ¿Cuáles son tus libros favoritos?
A Carla y a mí nos interesa jugar al tenis. Es nuestro deporte favorito. Este verano queremos jugar al tenis en la playa.
Este verano ellas quieren wait, did they say just jugar a su deporte favorito, I suppose. Gabriela, ¿tú juegas? No, juegas. Oh, I guess we're doing mi deporte preferido es fútbol. Oh, es el fútbol. Okay. That's interesting that I didn't get bopped for not using an article there.
Jugar.
So oh, I'm not even sure. Oh, we'll put bus. Oh no, I don't know how to spell this. Oh yeah, basketball. Not sure if there's a T there. Oh no! Oh no! I know. I don't know. But we'll just. I know. Preferido. There is a T there, and there's no accent. Whoops. Why do I think basketball have an accent? Alright, that's fine. Huh. What are your favorite books? Oh no. This is ¿cuáles tus comidas let's say preferidas? Let's try this. Oh, I forgot son. Whoops. I just wanted to try it. It's good to practice sport. It's good to practice Spanish. It's good to practice sports. Es when para practicar deportes. Ain't no way, that's right. It's good to practice. Maybe like practicar al deportes es bueno? Oh gosh. Wait, how does this work? Es bueno para practicar deportes. This isn't it. What is it? Es bueno practicar deportes. Oh, I just don't need para. Okay, that's fine. Alright. I was gonna put or para or something. Alright, that's fine. Ellos juegan fútbol en el parque. Al football. Whoops, I forgot the I should really get used to that, actually. Just for practice. Don't. Oh, wait. Yeah. ¿Cuáles son tus comidas? I want to know. Would you take favoritas? Yes, you do. Okay, that's fine. Es bueno practicar deportes. Or deporte. Deportes. It says sports. But sports is both singular. In that case, it's both singular and plural.
Partidos.
Partidos.
Pintura.
Like in that very case.
Enero.
Probar.
A los chicos
les interesa este grupo. No les. Oh.
¿Por qué no escuchamos la radio?
Radio.
Esto
es muy diferente.
El español es mi asignatura favorita. Tengo ganas de ir a muchas fiestas. Fiestas.
Okay. Esto es really muy divertido o no. Okay.
Escuchamos la radio en la mañana.
I thought they were gonna do something else or something.
Ella quiere estudiar otras asignaturas.
Nosotros siempre then Miran? Oh, I'm kind of curious if Miran works. Miran los partidos. Oh wait, maybe that's actually what they're looking for. Oh, is it en la tele or en tele? La tele? En la tele. Siempre. Oh, whoops. I forgot to. It's not miran. Miramos. I forgot to conjugate properly. But we're gonna try miramos.
En las vacaciones nos gusta ir a fiestas, pero también hacemos otras cosas. Vemos películas y partidos de béisbol.
Breathe.
Y escuchamos música.
Lady, breathe. Breathe.
Ella
quiere estudiar
otras asignaturas.
Breathe. Ana le interesa bailar en el hotel. Pero a su novio no le interesan las fiestas. Okay. I understand now.
Escuchamos
la radio en la mañana.
Mi grupo favorito es muy bueno y toca mañana en el teatro. ¿Quieres ir conmigo, María? También podemos bailar. El grupo toca en el concierto el sábado.
Okay.
Te interesa.
¿Te interesa esto, Mateo?
Mateo.
Okay, siempre miramos, I'm gonna try it. Miramos los partidos en la tele. Nice. Alright. Cool. Cool. Siempre en vemos partidos en la tele. El arte europeo es interesante. Bueno, practicar deportes. La niña, I made a lot of errors. La niña dibujar muy bien. ¿Cuáles son tus comidas favoritas?
Me interesa conocer otros museos.
Oh, jeez. I didn't even read the rest.
Las ciudades europeas son muy diferentes.
Interesa ver este pueblo europeo.
¿Cuáles
son tus
deportes
favoritos? ¿Te interesa el arte europeo? Okay. Me interesa mucho esta pintura moderna. Okay. Moderna. Yo veo muchos países
europeos.
Europeos. Ah. Oh, travel. Whoops.
Me
For whatever
interesa
reason, I
conocer
saw.
otros museos.
Not paying attention.
Yo viajo.
Oh, and I guess look, you can't look to something.
Muchos países.
Or can you?
Europeos.
I don't know. Alright. We're getting there.
A mi padre le encanta escuchar la radio.
Although I think the personalized practice are harder because of my lax
Pintura.
My lax
Tú siempre dibujas en la clase.
my lax article usage.
La niña. juega. Es. Hard.
Trying not to use the present progressive.
No, le.
Me encanta viajar a Europa y visitar museos en las ciudades más importantes. Ahora estoy en un museo de arte moderno en Madrid.
Interesa.
En las vacaciones nos gusta ir a fiestas, pero también hacemos otras cosas. Vemos...
¿Quieres practicar básquetbol?
Basketball? And now it has an accent. I'm a little confused. Someone help me out. Why did the other one not have a accent, but this one has an accent? I'm gonna have to look that up myself. That's interesting. Siempre viajamos. Oh, because
Esto es muy divertido.
Esto es muy divertido.
Esto es muy divertido.
Queremos practicar 1 hora los lunes.
Queremos practicar.
Queremos practicar 1 hora los lunes.
What?
Queremos practicar 1 hora los lunes.
Oh, for an hour on Monday. Oh. Quiere estudiar otras otras asignaturas. Jeez.
Nos
interesa. Nos interesa hacer otras cosas.
¿No te interesa esta conversación?
¿Eh?
¿No te interesa esta conversación? No te interesa esta conversación.
Okay. Alright, we're getting there. Okay, this is our listen to
Lucy
me.
y los dinosaurios. Lucy abre la puerta de su apartamento.
This one's funny too.
Hola, Junior.
Hola, ¿puedes ayudarme con mi tarea? Tengo que escribir algo.
¡Ah, sí! Yo escribo muy bien. Tengo un blog muy popular. ¿Tú lees mi blog?
No.
Tengo muchos libros. ¿Necesitas mis libros para tu tarea?
No, no necesito tus libros.
¿Y sobre qué es tu tarea?
Sobre los dinosaurios.
¿Y por qué quieres mi ayuda?
Porque eres muy vieja. Conoces a muchos dinosaurios, ¿no?
Adiós, Junior.
She's like, nope. Muy libros. Tarea. Puerta. Quieres. It's like, you're very old because you're very old. You're a dinosaur practically.
Lucy y los dinosaurios. Lucy abre la puerta de su apartamento.
Hola, Junior.
Hola, ¿puedes ayudarme con mi tarea? tengo que escribir algo.
Ah, sí, yo escribo muy bien. Tengo un blog muy popular. ¿Tú lees mi blog?
No.
Tengo muchos libros. ¿Necesitas mis libros para tu tarea?
No, no necesito.
¿Y sobre qué es tu tarea?
Sobre los dinosaurios.
¿Y por qué quieres mi ayuda?
Porque eres muy vieja. Conoces a muchos dinosaurios, ¿no?
Adiós, Junior.
Algo. Les. Tarea. Ayuda. Adiós. It's very old. Obviously, she'll know a lot about dinosaurs. Claro.
Tú tienes que
ayudar a mamá hoy.
Gabriela
quiere visitar a sus amigas.
Tú enseñas español a niñas.
Oh, make sure the I
¿Por qué no quieres ver a Diego hoy? ¿Por qué? No. ¿Quieres ver a Diego hoy? ¿Por qué no quieres ver a Diego hoy?
Okay. Ellos usualmente visitan a Gabriel a los sábados.
¿Conoces a mucha gente aquí?
Los padres necesitan amar a sus hijos.
What the flip? I don't know what happened there. ¿Qué quieres enseñar? Bruno, no. Oh, wait. Bruno. Diego quiere visitar a su familia.
Mi esposo llama a su madre a menudo. Mi esposo.
Oh, there I see.
Mi esposo llama a su madre a menudo. Su madre. A menudo.
Nosotros enseñamos francés a Juan.
Tú conoces esos niños.
Los maestros conocen a unos estudiantes. Algunos estudiantes.
Los padres necesitan amar a sus hijos.
So what did I do? What did I do here? Parents. Oh, I clicked on needs. Heck, in English. It's gotta be an English problem. It's always an English problem.
Él
no quiero comer una manzana.
Nosotras salimos en la mañana.
Ellas
salen en la tarde.
Tú escribes muchas cartas. Nosotras salimos en la mañana.
Tú hablas mucho.
Who knows for the estudiantes question? Do you use Duolingo? Because I mean, I don't know. I didn't test it. But I imagine yes. But you wouldn't know for sure if you didn't do it. You talk a lot. No, you don't. Both words just mean both. Yeah, I know. I know both words mean some. Yeah, both words mean some. I know. I didn't show. You know, like you're assuming I didn't know that by telling me that, but I know that they mean both. The idea is I'm trying to find out which one they're looking for. Yeah. That's why I write both. Tú escribes. Not a question. Not a question of whether I know or not. Yeah. Tú escribes muchas cartas.
Ella necesita salir
ahora. Don't worry, it's a really common thing for people to want to do that. She.
Yo.
Yo quiero comer una manzana. Is there a specific reason you look for both? Is it like, is the one duo once because it's the better choice? I mean, look for the ones. No, it's important that I look for both because I want to know both. And then I choose one. Whether it's the one Duolingo is looking for is despite the reason. The idea is I'm looking for all the words, not just one word. So the reason why I dislike or like I don't resonate with people is because I actually, by coincidence, I talked about this like 15 minutes ago, where it's not about the correct one or the one that is both correct, but the idea is I've already thought of both and I pick one. And regardless, I switch between them. It's the same reason that Nico is not here anymore, because Nico keep telling me like, oh, you could say this, but you should say this. I'm like, well, both. That's the idea of Duolingo. You go back and forth and you pick one. So in this case, I hadn't used algunos in a long time. I used algunos as opposed to unos, because unos would be a crutch, but even if it's natural for people to say that, for example, I would still switch back and forth for the exercise. It's kind of like adding a mí and a ti to everything all at once. Like, you don't have to, but they'll still accept it. So there's no reason to look for one that's better. I was curious which one they wanted.
Hablas.
But I was using it because I haven't used it in a long time. Yeah. Nosotros. Like, for example, I don't have to write nosotros here, which is what Nico constantly corrected me on over and over again. It's like, no, I'm using it because I need to practice nosotros. But yeah, I'll find out later if people, like most of the time, right? Salimos, this is salimos, or you could even do estemos saliendo, maybe saliendo en la tarde, possibly. No. I think I might have conjugated that improperly, possibly. Nico is the Argentinian person, you think? Yeah. Yeah, the Argentinian person, yeah. After a while, there was a day when I was going very long. And I just wanted to leave Nico, like tell Nico it straight that it's great that you constantly want to tell me things because I'll regret it, kind of thing. But it's not, I don't I don't really resonate with that. So oftentimes when people get overly cautious, they get overly concerned as opposed to sharing things. So it's a little different between you and me, right? Like we usually talk about things because they exist, not because it's like a problem. So that person did the hyper thing, like, oh, be careful of this, oh, be careful of that. And it's like, oh, Argentinians always do this and that. And I'm like, okay, but I mean, do you want to host me in Argentina or something? Because I mean, even if you tell me all these things, that's kind of neat, but don't make it sound like it's wrong to do it every other way that isn't Argentinian. Like it's great that you're really passionate about being an Argentinian, but it's, you know, people learn language because they want to be flexible. Then they figure out what they're gonna do. But yes, I do type random things all the time to test things because I don't know. You get the choice when you're subscribed, right? Although that last one on Saliendo, is it Salendo? No, Saliendo. Interesting. I'm surprised Saliendo didn't work. Yeah, you were just about to say, even when you said he told you about dropping nosotros or pronoun, that's another thing that depends on the person or the country, you think too. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how old that person is, but if I had to guess, either 18 years old or 1 or 2 years before university life. Like most people I know don't drop pronouns. I mean, sometimes they may if you want to say things quick, but even keeping them can be like a formal thing. Yeah, I keep formal most of the time. So like in Japanese, it's the same. Same deal. I speak formally most of the time too. But that doesn't mean is like, for example, people would say, oh yeah, but then you'll be like too distant from the person. It's like, well, yes, I'm distant. Like a lot of times they would say things like, oh, you, then people would think you're this. It's like, I know. That's kind of it works in different cultures too, where like, yeah, it's hard for me to not be formal using a language that I'm not familiar with too much. Even with algunos and unos, there is a nuance difference. Unos is informal, it's like few, while algunos is a formal and more emphasized. Yeah, I know that too. By coincidence, I know that too. This goes into what I was talking about in Hansa Hero today. So coincidentally, you triggered a second thing that I mentioned in Hansa Hero today, which is much like most people who use English, they no longer have the nuance of formal and informal English as well. So like, for example, when people say you assume something, that is the colloquial, casual use of assume. And there are formal words for assume: inference, insinuation, presumption, and allusion. Those are 4 separate different ways to formally have nuance on the word assume now. So when someone goes around and say, oh yeah, you could use assume, it means the same thing. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. But it does mean the same thing when we're talking about a very specific group of people. And on the internet, I don't even think people could differentiate between insinuate, presume, infer, suggests, and presume, and assume. Like, I don't think they can differentiate between those 5 words, but it's not necessary, obviously. And nowadays, oh, and by the way, for sure, do not use assume in a formal setting without really, really meaning you mean assume. For example, right? Like you're writing a scientific article and say, we assume this to be true. Yikes. Very, very yikes. It's largely more like we presume this to be true, as the data would suggest that this may be true, as opposed to this is true, which is what the colloquial, and is may and might. There's also may and might, right? And I think Spanish has all of these things, but obviously in Duolingo there's not enough context a lot of times. Like, are you speaking formally here? Are you? There is a few places. Whenever someone says like señor, if you're doing a vocative, I would typically use the formal speech most of the time, but obviously we can't have any of that. So instead, I just go back and forth. I think I could talk about this all the time because it's kind of fun. It's how much you learn about your language, right? In English, I think I talked about this a little bit earlier. What is natural is not advanced. What is beginner is not natural. So yeah. Yes, Spanish has a lot of formal and informal distinctions. I kind of like it. Seems more professional given you switch almost all your words you use for formal and informal ones. I agree. I like that. And then, you know, in Japanese, we already know about in Japanese, all the conjugations and switch. And in English, you have to. It's kind of funny because I'm not too sure how much people know about what professional English sounds like anymore, because I feel in America, you know, in the United States and like other places, lots of professional settings or people who are in professional settings are more the internet normalized stuff now. So like, for example, using the word normalized is kind of normal, sort of. Sufficiency, right? Sufficiency is a great word that I would use, and I think some people command those words nowadays. Like distinction is a great word. Distinction, most people use word difference, and I'm like, well, a distinction may not necessarily mean different. Or like compare means both compare and contrast, but contrast and comparison are two different things in a professional setting. So I like that Spanish also had like nearly exclusive words for those. In English, lots of the formal words are used casually to mean something else, like literally. In a formal setting, literally does not literally mean what most literally, the literal times when people use the word literal. But distinction is also a great one. Like, what is the difference between a distinguished and distinction? Or something like noticeable and significant? Noticeable and significant is a good one. All those words would mean change. Change is the word that would replace all of them. So if something is noticeable, it changed. If something is distinguishable, it changed. If something is distinctive, it changed. Change is the word for all those words. Like, that is pretty interesting that you can distinguish between these two things. The distinction between these two things are a point of contrast, not a point of comparison sometimes. So when someone says, "Oh, that's an interesting comparison," I'm like, that's more of a point of contrast. All right, we're done. But thank you. Like, I understand. You got to keep all those things coming soon, right? But I don't think I could differentiate between algunos and unos in most of these. At least in most of these like simple sentences. Not that I'm aware of. So I just go back and forth. You wonder why formal words are used informally in English? Fun fact, that's common in Brazilian Portuguese. Oh, really? They use formal words and informally to use formal conjugation for colloquial speech. I see. Interesting. Because like didn't you mention a couple people mentioned like the vos thing, right? Vos as opposed to nos, right? Or like usted, sorry, instead of usted and whatnot. That's the only example that is remotely related to that. I don't have enough knowledge to provide any other examples. Like I'd be floored if one day someone just like break into a professional meeting and start wailing out y'all everywhere. That'd be kind of funny. Like it's the reverse situation, but that's fine. Yeah. Or here's one that I use. Yeah, both is generally considered less formal than tu. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I think I might have known that a little bit for Spain, but not for, or like a contrast in Spain somewhere or something like that. But yeah, that's what I remember. Anyways, the whole vos thing. Let's see. What are we doing? Salen? Just Salen? We're dropping pronouns. But yeah, vosotros, maybe it's you, plural and formal, yeah. Well, ustedes is formal, but ustedes is the norm in Latin America, yeah. That's like one of the first few things we learn when we conjugate our first vocabulary words, like tener. The moment tener or puedo. It's interesting. I think if I remember back to high school, almost like a vast majority of the first verbs that we have were all irregulars. It's a really weird thing to think about. I mean, English is very similar, where if you were to teach someone English, right, the first thing you would say is, okay, so here are all the more common things that you are in every single sentence, and they're all irregulars. Like, but obviously English has like 40-60% irregulars, but they're the troublesome things. Like, oh hey, am is where been being. Those are you got to know those at some point. It's like, why do you say it in that order? Am is where am is where been being. Is because that's the order you have to. It's rote memory. Like, you don't. There's no explainer for am is where been being. I remember it in that very specific order when they're the helping verbs in English. There's no rhyme or reason for them. Or like there's no like a pattern to them. They're just am is where was where m is where been being. Like, why is the one start with this? Why does been being seem related, but then you have am is where, and am is was, or am is are, sorry, m is are. Like, I don't know. And I remember in the beginning, Spanish is like you start with, so ser, right? Ser, ir, tener, poder, querer. And those are like your first ones. I'm like, oh, okay. And then later on, you're like, oh, now there are some patterns over there. Then you start like comer, beber, vivir. Oh no, vivir is a little, yeah, vivir. So you get like finally your AR, your ER, and your IR. verbs. But man, I remember those days. Those days were fun. I liked it. I think I have fonder memories thinking back. But instead is oh no, sorry. I read your comment. But then you get a little the first time you start conjugating ustedes, when you start conjugating ustedes, right? They avoid ustedes for a bit, and then a month in, they're like, oh, okay, now we have to get to the question of vosotros. Vosotros in your textbook, because in Spanish textbooks back then, most of my instructors are Latina, but the books that we had came from Spanish. So then, wait, speaking of vosotros and ustedes, I thought of another fun fact. All right. I'll let you go for it. Go for it.
Nosotros comemos carne.
It's not too important, actually. Continue though. I was listening. Oh no worries. I was gonna end there, where most of the books came from Spain. So the books we had were Spanish. So when we listened to, those books where they had audio tapes or like CDs included with them. So when you're like, occasionally in class, we would listen to the audio from the CDs. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? It is so hard to understand these people. It's like, oh yeah, that's because they speak Spanish. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, and then it was fun because it was like, we didn't listen to CDs. We followed along, with our instructor with the book, as opposed to, and then it included all the Spanish stuff, like vosotros and all that. And we would usually like, okay, we know this, but we don't really need to know this, that kind of thing. But then when you put it in the CD, it's like, yeah, that's, yep, those people are Spanish. All right. Oops.
Nosotros comemos carne.
Nosotros comemos carne. You got taught Spanish in school too growing up. You never really knew why Latin American wasn't the standard given your proximity. Yeah, I know, right? Yep, I know. So you and I had a very weird coincidence. Yeah, grew up Spanish, but with a Latina instructor. So occasionally the Latina instructor, when they are pronouncing things and saying things, it's like, oh yeah, that's what I'm used to hearing around me. But then when they go to the textbook, and then you have those examples, it's like, oh yeah, that's not, it doesn't sound like that. It's like, okay, it's fine. What is the best way to say daijoubu desu in Spanish? Like, it's okay. ¿Es bien? I don't know. ¿Es bueno? Está bien. Oh yeah, that's right. Está bien, not es bien. Está bien, yeah. It's fine. Everything's okay. Está bien. And what were you gonna say? Los viernes nosotros comemos hamburguesas de pescado en ese restaurante. Que nosotros no, we're not. Can we just salimos? Actually, can you help me out with this? What did I do here? Can I not estamos saliendo? Is that not how you say we are leaving? Estamos saliendo en la tarde. This is what I wrote. It's incorrect, but how would you conjugate salir into present progressive? Is it not saliendo? Is it salendo? There ain't no way. Salendo sounds like ugh. That sounds like a vomit. Or can I not do it with salir? Is salir different? That works? Yeah, they don't like it. Yeah, they don't like it. Usually they're okay with this. Oh, without the accent. Maybe, but usually they're okay with it. They haven't taught it yet, but maybe they're just angry at the accent mark. No, they just don't like it for now. It's fine. It's fine. Salimos. There's just a salimos en la tarde. Alright, so what do you have to... What's the fun fact? Give me the fun fact. Ella quiere tomar el autobús.
Necesito leer este libro.
I do have to cut our meeting eventually. I gotta peace out today. Watching anime again. The animus. It looks like one of the guys finished their session. Okay. Need to read this libro.
Ella necesita leer este periódico. Ella necesita leer el periódico.
¿Este o...?
Ella necesita leer este periódico.
Nosotras no abrimos esta puerta.
Okay. Yeah, estamos saliendo por la tarde works. I guess salimos may be more natural though. Oh yeah. Oh, por. It might be por. That's why it didn't accept it. Por la tarde, unless salir required a different directional at the end, because I used en la tarde, so it could be that salir might be different because of I guess the preposition relation, because I didn't try por la tarde. Possibly. They're okay with like messing around with present progressive stuff early. I do that every once in a while to make sure I remember my conjugations for like está, I don't know. Está escuchando escuchando or something like that. That's the really terrible sounding one. I was hoping for something better. Like baby endo or something like that. Tell me your fun fact. I need the fun fact. Hello? Abrimos mensajes. Oh, you did? Did I miss it? Oh, it's blocking. No, it's blocking. Sorry. I have a little piece of the Discord window blocking the top thing. The fun fact is both used to be formal in Old Spanish, which is what I learned, by the way. Both used to be formal in Old Spanish until it evolved into an informal pronoun. I don't know how. Got replaced by tú generally, then lingered in isolated regions away from Spain. Yeah, influence Argentina and Uruguay. Also, both is considered offensive in Chile. Yep, that's what Nico said. Yeah, both is considered offensive. Yep. When all else fails, use usted. What was another? That's literally why. That's also, what was the other one? Oh, they said if you used that person also said if you use nosotros too often, it sounds arrogant, or it can sound arrogant. It's like, yeah, I know that too, but it's not everywhere. That kind of thing, right? Like I get it. As long as you can say lo siento. I'm pretty sure lo siento works. Lo siento, lo siento, you know, soy, or entiendo un poco español. In some parts of Latin America, usted is used informally. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, I feel Spanish. I talked about this like right before you came during today's Duolingo Spanish. Um, it's like English. I like talking about this stuff. You don't get this type of like you get fewer of this type of discussion in like isolated languages, like restricted languages, like Japanese and Mandarin. Although Mandarin has a larger macro audience, so from time to time, if you're talking to like a Taiwanese or a Malay and like diaspora United States kind of thing, you get to a point where like, oh, okay, so that's what you guys mean. It's like, yeah, it is kind of hard to know what's formal and what's informal anymore. But in like Japanese, it's pretty unified still. So whenever I get back to Spanish, I'm like, yeah, this is the English neighboring adjacent experience, and it's like home. It feels like home. Like I love talking about English, but learning Spanish makes you feel the same way. Like everyone has opinions, but the idea is having opinions means that you talk about it for a very long time. You get a lot of coffee table talk. In Japanese, I mean, you can even see Japanese work culture. It's non-negotiable, right? But like still whenever I'm talking to my parents or like people in Chinese, like, oh, this is how you say it. It's like, oh, okay. Hey, wakarimashita. I mean, what知道?我知道. 对，我知道.
Ustedes.
One day, I think since you are doing French, right? Gecko has been telling me a lot about French. You're in like a different time zone thing, but Gecko knows French as well and studying French. And whenever I'm like, I feel one day it's gonna be hard to avoid, but I might dabble in French because I might dabble in French because it's the same thing with French. Like French, Spanish, and English are competing, right? Competing on the other end of the spectrum. There's just so many more variations, and I think the chaos is a great way to compare and juxtapose with juxtapose with rigid languages, like languages that are incredibly unified. So while on the one hand, I'm all for this is exactly how you say, this is exactly how you say, and with slight nuances. So the nuances are very subtle. And then you have the other end of the spectrum where like you can go to another country and when you hear their English, sometimes they're all the words, but not much of the understanding, which I think Spanish and French is pretty much bridging to that spot, right? I think Spanish and French are like closely competing with each other at this point. English is still like, I forgot what it is. I think the crazy thing to think about is Spanish and French is getting close. In English, it's hard to even say what is native anymore, in my opinion, because there are less people who are English only speakers, like native English speakers, like English monolingual, than people who speak English that aren't monolingual and who aren't primarily English speakers. So that's the crazy part about English, and Spanish is approaching that. So is French, where you get to the point where, oh yeah, in case you're wondering, when you go around saying you're a native speaker, you have more people who might not know what you're talking about than what you're talking about. Like I forgot what the recent measure was. It's based on one article who did a meta-analysis and a survey or something, but the projections are when you go around and say you're a native English speaker, there are more people who aren't native English speakers. There are more non-native English speakers than there are native English speakers. So you start wondering, what is native? Well, native is the largest subset of the group when not compared to the other group. So like it's not non-native versus native. It's more largest group versus all these smaller groups separately. and now you get into this part where like, okay, so when you go and visit another country, I want people to tell me about their experience with their English. Gecko is about to go on a vacation. He's about to go on vacation with his family. He's gonna visit UK, right? He's Belgian, so his English is acquired. And he's gonna go to the UK. He's gonna fly over to Florida, over here in the East Coast. Yeah, East Coast. Florida, and he's gonna take a ship back to Belgium, or maybe to UK, and then fly back to Belgium. And my only thought was, Gecko, we need to like give you like a Easter egg hunt, like I need to give you some Easter egg hunts, like hunt for Americanisms, and like on your ship, like what kind of English do you hear? Because he's actually practicing English as well. Like he speaks, he's interested in Japanese like for a long time now, but it's secondary to his French education, his Belgian, whatever that means. I'm not quite sure. He's like kind of on the Frenchy side or something. That's my impression. And then he has as his bridging, his common tongue. But that's pretty wild. And he's almost my age, I think. So much older multilingual person. It's kind of fun. And Belgium is one of those countries. So right, you and I are chilling in the United States near a cultural hub. Belgium just happens to be no bigger than... Hold up. I don't think Belgium... Wait. I actually think... Hold up. 1 second. New York City almost has more people than Belgium. I was like wondering how close. It's not almost. Like New York City is at like 8.3 million. And Belgium, all of Belgium is at 11.8 as of 2023. So I'm like, wait, hold up. I bet New York City might actually just as many. Not as much, but it's a city compared to an entire country. So it's fun meeting other people from places. Malaysia is a great place too, to meet people who have like this like fun little approach to, yeah, you're right. It's like, you know what's fun? How confusing everything is. Which is, at least in my opinion, if you speak English and you like English, like some people hate English, obviously. Like, I mean, people who learn Japanese, a lot of people who learn Japanese, they prefer to go to Japan, live the Japanese life, speak Japanese, and leave English behind. So that's perfectly understandable. But for myself, like, I have grown fond of how wildly gross, almost contentious English is. And I think Spanish reminds me of that too. Whenever you're like, if you get into a room filled with quote unquote Spanish speakers, oh, that's like putting a bunch of rooms of different English speakers in the same room. I'm like, go to town. Here, I would sit there, grab some popcorn, right, and say, soccer. Proceed. You just throw in some hot take words and just watch them go at it. But I mean, if you come, even bonus, if they all like speak Spanish too, you know, I just go to town, done. Which, by the way, SD. Have you known the origin of the word soccer? I held off on this for some time, but after seeing a clip of someone else, like who's more viral and influential, have you known where soccer comes from? Soccer comes from the UK. Like it's an informal term before it was adopted into the English lexicon, like the American lexicon. So like a long story short, I knew that football, American football, was called gridiron football. And that football had many different types of football. So because of the many type of football, they used the other modifier to list those football. Like rugby was a different type of football. It was actually, it might be rugby, might actually be Rutgers, but it's a different type of football. So they were all football at some point, and then they adopted the name that they was associated with, and the soccer that came about is association. It's an association football from the UK, and they shortened, long story short, they shortened association to soccer. So soccer football, or like they dropped the football and call it soccer by like referring to differentiate it between like rugby and stuff. So later on, that slang or that modification was adopted into English because there was already a football, gridiron football, which is now American football. So that term was not even novel in the sense that it was referring, like, soccer was still referred to soccer in the UK. So yeah. And then obviously the rest is history, because the whole football thing was basically everyone who learns British English and telling an American that it's actually football. It's like, well, yes, it is. Oh, I was about to ask, why did we keep soccer? Because we already had another football and it makes no sense to have two, if I'm understanding correct. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I was about to ask, why do we keep soccer? Because we already had another football and it makes no sense to have two. Yeah, so I don't know. It's probably because the other football got changed to rugby. If you know what I mean. Like you know what I mean? Like, so everything around football turned out okay, so a lot of things were called football. So a lot of things were called football. Okay? And rugby, for example, let me see what rugby was called. Rugby, what kind of football was rugby? There was a name. Yeah, it's for, oh yeah, it was for rugby school. It was originated in rugby school. So it was just called rugby football because it was named, they wanted to differentiate between the different types of sports that was involving foot, like, and ball, right? So in order to distinguish between them, they gave it modifiers. So rugby football was the term to distinguish from association football, which is soccer. But at some point, it's like, well, we have two footballs. Let's just drop the football. Rugby football, yeah, gridiron football, soccer football. We dropped gridiron, kept football. We dropped football, kept soccer. UK dropped soccer, kept football. Rugby dropped football. Yes. Yes. That's exactly it. You nailed it. And even if that's inaccurate, it's like, WTF, man. That is natural language. If you're not learning a natural language, why is this mental gymnastics? Because natural language is silly. Oh, and here's another one. I have to answer this question all the time, and I also have to make this distinction. The difference between dialect and language and accent. Accent, language, and dialect has an entire history. And the short answer, Army and Navy thing, the short like one of the fun things, the deeper you dive, the current meaning, like all colloquial English, like, you know, like most of colloquial English, accent, dialect, and language no longer are distinctive anymore. Now, if you ask a linguist, you know, maybe you'll have a distinction, sure, but accent, dialect, language, right? There are dialects that are not separate languages, and then there are dialects that are separate languages. There are languages with dialects that are not separate, and then there are languages with accent that are separate, but dialects are separate as well. And then there are languages where dialects are the same, but the accents are different. If that sounded like I was listing off the different combinations of the two, it's because that is what happened to accent, dialects, and language. So in China, the group, there is a language of which there are many dialects that are separate languages. But since I'm used to using dialects as a group related to a language, then I usually use it in that term. Like, for example, like Spanish and Portuguese have separate dialects, but those are not the same dialects as China has dialects. But the Portuguese and Spanish are considered separate languages, but they are dialects when talking about Chinese dialects. So, like, for example, Portuguese, Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, those things are more accents, regional accents to Chinese people, when Chinese people's dialects are separate languages to Spanish and Portuguese people. Isn't that interesting? And then we have the concern about separate languages in certain places that I'm aware of, like Croatia, right? Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, and whatnot. They have languages that are only languages because they're culturally different groups. And culturally different groups have languages that are not actually separate dialects and or accents or different languages. They are identified as different languages because they are culturally different languages. The mechanics of those languages are indistinguishable from each other. They are so similar that they are speaking the same language mechanically, but they are separate languages because they are separate countries. They are separate countries. So language is divided based not solely on the mechanics of the language, but also its political boundaries. So in that case, if we were to take that, then most things can be considered a language if they are identifiable by a large enough group with their agency and sovereignty and whatnot, if you know what I mean. You recently been hearing people call languages dialects, and I assume it's just people who didn't know the difference. Like an example is I was watching a guess the language video, and the people guessing were calling languages dialects, and I thought, oh, how the heck do they know which variation of obscure languages? Yeah. Until you realize that they call every language a dialect, yes. So yeah, the Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia, Montenegro all speak Serbo. Yeah, Serbo-Croatian and all the other, like all the political names put together, but call them different languages because of the split, yeah, of Yugoslavia. Yep. So in this world, in the crazy, weird world we live in today, there's an example in which a language is a dialect and a dialect is an accent. An accent is both and a dialect is both. So it's all of the above. So yeah, English. And we're only speaking from the perspective of an English language, right? Like the English terminology. I don't even know how to express that in whatever the language. Like in Chinese, there are 8 terms for Chinese that I'm aware of. There are 8 terms for just Chinese. So like not even the regional dialects names, but how you refer to Mandarin and or some use of Mandarin or some use of Asian thing, like Chinese related things. So there are 8 of them already in standard learning. So like when you're learning standard things, you're gonna come across at least 8 terms. Like, oh yeah, like 普通话, for example, which is Mandarin, right? But 普通话 is what I typically use to refer to Mandarin. But 中文, 汉语, and then there's a distinction between writing and speaking, right? But then there's like outside Chinese name, outside of China name, within the proximity of China name for the word, for the names. And then sometimes they just separate all entirely due to political identities. So the names would be completely I just politically separated. Like Taiwanese, for example, I kind of use Taiwanese to refer to a variant, but when I'm learning, on Mandarin, right? It's the written part that might be different, but at the same time, it's not like it doesn't exist in both. So lots, great, awesome. Yep. At least in English. Wait, how does English work? So like English, you have someone Googled this recently. The hot take is like, what is the most quote unquote diverse language? That's a really like hot take because people like to make competitions out of languages. And they're like, well, how do you measure diversity? Do you measure how many dialects a language has or accents a language has? And I'm like, if I had to guess, then it would be English, because English would have an accent that maybe the large majority of them are certainly intelligible to each other, but there are certainly accents of English that are unintelligible to each other, which, yeah, and then things just spiral out. In regard to China, do Chinese people recognize they speak different languages, or they call them dialects? Or if so, dialects of what? Oh yeah, rural Irish farmers. Dude, there are parts of the United States I could not hear anything. Like, I just don't understand what they're saying. And those are like very small groups though. They're like 10,000, 10,000 speakers. I'm not saying they're not important people, but when I listen to those 10,000 people, I think there's one in the East Coast. There's a group of people, like a community of 10,000 people in the East Coast. It might have been the Carolinas or something. Like, I was listening to him, like, I don't know, is that fish? Like, I thought I might have heard the word fish because they're on a boat. Like, the context of the video is how I think that's what they were talking about, but I had no idea. Like, and they didn't really translate it. They just let you hear it. Like, here, this is what you said. What do you think they said? And I'm like, I don't know what they said. And it's in the United States. Like, you think, I thought I've heard it all, but it's pretty funny. And mountain communities have wild things. So in Chinese, they, at least my parents, what my parents do is they refer to the place that they're from, and that's it. They don't have like an official name for them. Like, oh, we're this type of people, and that's it. So instead of saying like a formal name of the language itself, does not have a name. It has an origin. The dialect has an origin. So I guess it's kind of like how Spanish works. Like, like Catalan would be associated with like Catalan, right? and how like Latina, or like comparing like Salvadorian with Guatemalan, and when I actually don't remember, but isn't there a couple Central American countries that actually speak French instead because of colonization? Which one were they? So I don't want to accidentally compare a Central American country that isn't actually Spanish speaking. I think one of them, like two of them or something, right? Hold up. Jeez. Like, it's not like they don't speak Spanish, but I think the national language of a couple of them are French, right? Oh, they are in South America. Oh, sorry. Oh, French. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, South America. Okay, not Central America. So all of the Central American countries have Spanish as their national language, right? Anyways, yeah, in my parents, unintelligible. They're all speak Spanish. Okay. Glad we got that clarified, because I actually don't know if that's true. Yeah, who am I missing? Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Panama. I'm missing so many. I commonly miss like a bunch all the time. Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and then I'm missing one. Belize. Yeah, Belize. Oh, here it is. Belize too. Yeah, they speak English. Oh, okay. But fun fact, more than half the population speaks Spanish, and it's not official there. Ah, I see. Yeah, Belize is the special one, right? Because they are segregating. I mean, all of them still speak Spanish, but I think Belize was the weirdest one. Which I don't usually refer to. You know, now that I'm looking at the map of Central America, there's not. I always thought there were more countries. Yeah, so for some reason in my head, I often, when I think of the map of Central America, I think like Europe kind of thing, you know, like the farther eastern Europe breakup where like there's a cluster of tons of countries. But now that I look at it, it's like it's those countries. Huh. Interesting. All right. Anyways, that's enough of showing how little I know about the outside and about other countries. Some Caribbean countries are close to their no. In my head, they are at least. Oh, that's true. That's true. That makes sense. Yeah, like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, yeah, Cuba, like, yeah, okay. Now, yeah, that makes sense. That's why that map looked a little bit small. I felt like there were more associated, not that Caribbean countries, like, you know, I don't want to get into the whole lumping people together, but yeah, I forgot. There's like at least double that number if you start considering the Caribbean as well, right? And then I guess I'm gonna be a stereotypic American and lump all the other ones too, like Chile. It's just, but it feels like it's a continuation. I almost feel like North America and Mexico is like North America, and then you just have this weird conglomeration going down the side of South America and including the Central America. Yeah, there are 13 countries in the Caribbean. Oh, that makes sense. Islands, man. Islands. Ustedes Ustedes necesitan tomar el tren.
¿De verdad tienes miedo?
Yeah, you just looked at Central America like a little bridge of, I don't know, connecting North. Yeah, I know, right? I'm not saying it's bad or good. Like, I don't want to make this sound like some people are insecure about it, but it is the bridgeway. Like, it's such an interesting geographical feature. Like, not everyone can say, oh yeah, land bridge. We live on the land bridge between two massive continents. Like, where else can you say that? Maybe like the Bering Strait from Russia to like Alaska, but come on. Like, it's such a neat geographical feature. And the Panama Canal is like a testament to human ingenuity at this point. But it's a land bridge, like, pretty neat. Very neat. Okay. Quiero. Okay, now I gotta finish this. Quiero este libro.
¿De verdad tienes miedo?
Tú bebes leche.
¿Tú bebes leche? ¿Tú bebes leche? Please. It's all right. What in a matter of a year, I get to ask you all the French stuff, which is gonna be pretty funny.
Necesitamos.
I'm ready for your like hot take list of what it's like to be in France. I'm ready for it. Necesitamos abrir esta
puerta.
Necesitamos abrir un restaurante.
Baguettes are overrated, dude. Honestly, if I go to France, I'd be inhaling some baguettes. Nah, you take that back.
Necesitamos abrir un restaurante.
Necesitamos abrir un restaurante. Okay.
¿Tú bebes vino?
¿Tú bebes vino? ¿Tú bebes vino?
Ellas abren estos mensajes.
Ellas abren mensajes. I forgot what the unas mensajes. Estos. Jeez.
Estos.
Like, okay. I don't want to talk about it. Alright, we really gotta be hitting the mark. We get caught up, ST. You're distracting me. Stop. How do you say cease and desist in Spanish? Like the closest way of alluding to that feeling, the cease and desist. But in a playful way, like a formal but colloquial way of cease and desist. Stop. Cease and desist. Yeah, I don't have a good thing off the top of my head. Other than like silence. You know, silencio, right? Or it can go like cállate or something like that. But that's not the same as cease and desist. Like cease this distraction. Ahora. Saquen tu boca. I don't know. All right. Mi hermano es 23 años. Oh, no es tiene Old habits die hard. 23 años. Oh, I before E except after V. Just kidding.
Mis hermanos escuchan música en la sala.
Mis hermanos escuchan. El día has. El día tiene. Tiene 24 horas.
Muchos adultos aquí son jóvenes.
Muchos adultos aquí. ¿Jóvenes? ¿Son jóvenes?
Muchos adultos aquí son jóvenes.
Oh, do I need a... Oh, I forgot the accent on jóvenes. Okay, alright. Hay dos conciertos mañana.
Mis abuelos viven en Francia.
Oh, these ones are pretty on the mark. I don't need to expend too much. Do you need... Man, the typing has gotten a lot more approachable.
A mi padre le gusta tocar el piano. A mi padre le gusta tocar el piano.
Oh, it's just... Oh, no accent. What am I doing? Do I need me? No. Right? El and because I'm regarding that's kind of
Papá, ¿qué música te gusta escuchar? Papá, ¿qué música te gusta escuchar?
What?
Papá, ¿qué música te gusta escuchar?
Yeah, return with nourishment. Okay.
Papá, ¿qué música te gusta escuchar?
Ellos se llaman Roberto y Bruno.
Turkish food. What the heck? What Turkish food do you have? Kebabs?
Ellos se llaman Roberto y Bruno.
I'm not actually sure. Yeah? Okay. Kebabs with rice. Okay. Nice. Solid.
Ellos se llaman Roberto y Bruno. Ellos se llaman Roberto y Bruno.
Oh, because their name.
¿Cuántos años tienen tus padres?
Son of a bee sting. Tienen. Oh, tus padres. Oh, I heard su padre.
A mi hermana le gusta la música. A mi hermana le gusta la música.
Okay.
Ella tiene mucha sed.
You also bought spam today, and you've been thinking about it all day and how I'm going to make it with white rice. Oh, yes. You actually love spam more than anything. Ugh, it's such a staple food. Such a wonderful, magic, culinary ingredient. Make a masubi or something. Classic. Do you have a mold? Oh. Yeah, spam's nice.
Ella tiene mucha sed.
What's that? What? Musubi? Sorry, not masubi, but musubi? Spam musubi? What's wrong with you? Do you now I don't believe you live in New York. How could you? Musubi? Spam musubi? How dare you? Do you have nori? It's caramelized spam. It's caramelized spam on a block of rice with a nori wrapped around with nori. Musubi. Never heard of it? All right, we can't be friends. I'm kidding. Yeah, musubi is probably the, I'm gonna say, the trendiest Asian Americana thing to do with spam, like the trendy thing, the internet trendy thing. But it's a very common, any combination of it. It's caramelized, you know, like I guess what you're seared or caramelized. It's seared and caramelized. You sear it in a little bit of sugar, so it's caramelized spam with rice. And oftentimes I like my rice a little bit vinegary, so we put in a little rice vinegar here and there, and then nori for that salt, more salt. So we got like a bit of salt, sour, you know, citric acid going on, and then some slightly sugary caramelized spam, and then another punch of salt in the face. You just saw a picture of the spam tin being used as the rice mold? Yeah. Yep.
Ella tiene mucha sed.
Ella tiene... What?
Ella tiene mucha sed.
Oh, sed.
El señor López no es mi marido.
What? Señor no. Señor López, what?
El señor López no es mi marido. El señor López no es mi marido.
Oh, marido. Ah, I put the accent on the wrong place.
Tengo un abrigo bueno para el frío.
Oh, yes. Fried egg or sunny side up. Fried egg takes too much, so sunny side up egg, like slightly runny. Oh, I'm just watering just thinking about it. Oh my gosh. Oh, and go to any store, grab either, if you don't like garlic, that's fine. You could get fried garlic in a tin, like in a plastic container, or if you don't like the garlic thing, potato sticks, crushed small potato sticks, or you take like your favorite bag of potato chips that are like thinly cut and stuff, and just smash it, and then like, you know, put it on top. So you have the runny egg. It creates like this emulsification. Then you have you like garlic and rice? Yeah, but you know what I mean, right? You don't remember having it and anything else, to be honest. Oh, okay. So if you want a crunch, right? Because something's missing in all of this, a crunch factor. So fried garlic in like prepared fried garlic in a container, or like potato sticks, or your favorite potato chips that you want to crumble up and you just toss them on top. And then you have crunch, umami, sour acidic citric acid, salt, and sugar. Like, it's a wonderland. And then you have creamy, right? Creamy, chewy, bouncy, and crunchy. You know, crunch. Or you can like fry anything up. Like I would say bacon bits work. Like air fry some bacon bits, dude. Texture and flavor all at the same time. Texture and flavor. That's you gotta elevate your game. Like, there's something I feel that can elevate even despite having like pretty mundane and readily available ingredients. Got to get the different textures, right? Textures and all the different sensations in like a component, like a layered component, not like all mixed together. Because if you like, you know, mash it all together like in a blender, then it just tastes like one thing. But when you layer them, musubi is layered. Like, all the things are layered, and then the egg is layered, and then the crunch, and from the fried garlics, fried garlic. Anyways,
Tengo un abrigo bueno para el frío.
try finding that in France. No, I'm kidding. Baguette, man.
Tengo
Frío?
un
Oh,
abrigo
abrigo.
bueno
Bueno,
para
frío.
el frío.
Okay.
Nos encanta este libro.
Nos encanta. Nos encanta. The cold?
Nos encanta este libro.
Oh, este libro.
Nosotros.
Nosotros escuchamos
música
mexicano.
¿Cuántos años tienen las señoritas?
¿Cuántos años tienes la señorita? It's probably plural.
¿Cuántos años tienen las señoritas?
Okay. Alright, so we gotta really book it now. It's 10, it's almost 11. Yeah, we gotta book it now. Okay. Nosotros dibujamos mucho en la clase. Dibujamos. I don't know about Japanese food, but there's a big Asian community in Paris. Mostly Chinese and Viet. I've already looked at some Latin American places. You'll be fine food-wise. Fair enough. And remember, anywhere outside, it's either owned by Vietnamese or Chinese. That's a joke too. In Europe, like, if you think it's a Japanese restaurant, it's probably a Chinese Vietnamese owner. Like, most of the time, like, if it's an even newer established place, it's probably a Vietnamese owner. But if it's a massive macro country, they're probably Chinese owner. And statistically, that's how it goes. Because, like, Japanese, I mean, as much as Japanese culture has widespread, people don't want to leave Japan. So that speaks for another thing, right? And then Vietnamese and Chinese, there's a lot of diaspora. So Chinese, without being too general, the diaspora went to the most lucrative countries first. So the macro countries, most of those stores are run by Chinese people, like those restaurants and stuff. But they master the craft, you know, they adopt the craft and then they serve the food, right? It's one of those things that I feel are less appreciated this is a appreciation thing, not like a derivative thing. Chinese and Vietnamese people run a lot of businesses, and lots of those are food from other Asian countries. But the thing is, diaspora have a really distinctively different perspective on authenticity and traditionalism. They're more like business people who understand the craft to deliver food that the people that where they are like to eat. So oftentimes when you think of comparing diaspora with the native, right, the perspective is very different. And it's kind of portrayed a lot in the animosity on the online about like cheapening the understanding of how food culture works, like the differing food culture. Like for example, some people, natives would say, "Oh yeah, American Chinese is terrifyingly awful." It's like, well, because they're not catered to your palate. And then the other way around. Now there are a lot of like emotional. So what? Escargot fried rice? I would not be surprised. And that sounds actually quite delicious. I'd be down for escargot fried rice. Or like baguette, a baguette version of radish cake. I don't know if you've ever had radish cake in Chinatown or something, but I absolutely love radish cake. But you can substitute it with any like starch thing that can be fried briefly, and I could kind of see a baguette sandwiching between shrimp paste. Like you take shrimp, right? You devein them and stuff, you mash them up, right, and then form a paste, and then you put the shrimp paste in between two already starchy things, and oftentimes you would use radish or something like that. But you can smash it in between two baguette and briefly like dunk them in oil and then bring them out, and then you got your fried baguette shrimp paste, whatever you want to call that. No, you haven't? You just looked it up though, and it looks good. Yeah, it's delicious. And oftentimes they're served with shrimp paste in between. Basically, devein your shrimp, your raw shrimp that you get, chop them up or put them in a food processor, but like a grinder, a meat grinder, not the ones that you use for blending. Chop them up. Usually just use two knives, cleavers, and just go to ham. Create a paste. Then when you fry it, the shrimp paste will expand, cook right in between the two pieces of whatever bread or something. Back in the day, it's a lot more exotic and harder to make it in between like radish cakes and turnip cakes, like turnip cakes or radish turnip. Instead, just use bread, white bread. Literally, white bread is what my parents used. So they took Wonder Bread, white Wonder Bread, and slammed shrimp paste in between, and then throw them in a deep fryer, and it come out, and they look kind of like a puff, like a pastry thing, and you munch in it. Pretty awesome. So you swap up the ingredients, right? Wonder Bread works great. And then what's a really great example of today in the United States for like Chinese that is not understandable from diaspora? Probably like garlic noodles. Any recipe that calls garlic noodles, and the preferred noodles that they usually have in the ingredients is Italian spaghetti, and not even good Italian spaghetti or authentic Italian spaghetti. We're talking about like Barilla. That's it, because it's about elevating your ingredients with the ingredients you have available, cost effectiveness, convenience, that type of thing. So no, I was saying that stereotype from a more of a side of appreciation, right? And at the same time, obviously, go to Paris for some, I don't know, what are you gonna get at Paris? You know what I got that was distinctively French, but not, I didn't go to French for it, but have you had What is it called? Did you have sweetbread? Have you consumed sweetbread before? It's something. It was quite delightful, the sweetbread that I had. I think it's called sweetbread, right? Yeah, sweetbread. you smear it on. It's kind of like you know what it reminds me of, the way you eat it? It's kind of reminds me of like bone marrow. It's like bone marrow. You can totally do that. I'm pretty sure sweetbread is more of a French thing. And it's on a baguette. Yeah, hold up. Maybe not. Oh no, it was Spain actually. Oh no, it was Mexico. Just kidding. Mexico and Spanish. Just kidding. Oh no. We're talking about, oh sorry, that's sweetbread, not the correct sweetbread. I'm pretty sure this was a French thing. Hold up. We're talking about the not that sweetbread. Wrong sweetbread. English is confusing. Don't not yet. Yeah. Liste vieux, you know more French than I do, so it's the thymus of the calf. Not to be confused with Mexico. Oh man, this is so funny. Like, not to be confused with Mexicano, like Mexicano cuisine, right? The sweetbread from, like, it was introduced from Spanish to Mexico. Not that sweetbread. The French sweetbread, which is the thymus. And the last time I remember, I totally spread on some baguette. Totally. Anyways.
Yo
no. Yo no
dibujo.
Dibujo bien.
Okay.
Las
pinturas del museo son importantes. Okay. ¿A ustedes les interesa la concierto clásico? Clásica. Okay, hoy hay un wait, oh no.
Concierto.
That works.
Los museos son interesantes.
Museos. Oh, speaking of French, nos interesa conocer la torre. Eiffel. I actually don't know how they say Eiffel. Eiffel. Okay. Mañana. ¿Quieren ir? How's that for your role? Torre. Right? Torre. Let's see. It is interesting.
Es una
conversación interesante. The Eiffel Tower. Sorry, I don't know how to impersonate a French person, but that was the closest I got. The Eiffel Tower. Just like you just add a few like inflection intonations just to be not accurate, but just make it a little pompous. I totally like French people. Like I like that they do that. It's very eclectic and eccentric. So humble. Carmen le interesa la pintura. En sus vacaciones ella pinta. Yo siempre viajo en la primavera. Today I had to spell rendezvous and I'm like, man. Like when people say rendezvous and when I see rendezvous, that's fine. When I have to spell rendezvous, no. Escúchame. Disculpe. Disculpe. El arte europeo. Oh my gosh. Europeo me interesa. Yo quiero escuchar, no. Conocer. Pasar. Oh, wait.
Conocer.
That's fine. I could have made an argument. Me interesa mucho el arte. Okay. ¿Quieres tomar fotos?
Tomar.
Okay.
Tengo una foto de Madonna.
Foto. Okay. Siempre tenemos. Tenemos
conversaciones
interesantes.
Ellos viajan a lugares diferentes.
Viajan. How are your kebabs, by the way? Fun fact, rendezvous in Spanish is rendezvous, but it's never used. Rendezvous. Interesting. That sounds kind of nice. I don't know what rendezvous is in Chinese. Rendezvous. I always miss the Z. Rendezvous in Mandarin. Hui he. Oh, hui he kind of makes sense, sort of. Hui he. Oh, it's not. Oh my, wait. Zai ye ding chang hui. Oh, no. That's the whole phrase of meeting up. No. Yeah, hui he makes sense. It's fine. Your kebab was great, actually. You're still kind of hungry though. The spam is calling you. It's kind of like have you ever stopped eating like processed foods for a really long time, like at any point where like and all your food was void of salt for like a extended amount of time, and then one day your parents, if this sounds like I'm talking about myself, it's because I am. Occasionally my parents would be like, oh yeah, let's just Costco has a deal on this bag of potato chips. And then when I open that bag of potato chips, it's gone in one day. Or it's gone in one sitting. And it'd be like a family-sized bags of potato chips. That's how terrifying it is when I think of spam. By the way, like in my family, like I'm chilling with my parents, pretty much we're like super contrasty, like healthy maintenance people. So 90% of the time we're trying to use like sour things and salt things and sugar things in balance so that you use less salt, sugar, and whatnot. So most of the time we consume very, very low sodium things. But dude, when occasionally you see that bag of potato chips, it's like get in my belly. Like we're talking about 10 servings of kettle cooked chips in like an hour. It's just Kirby's got nothing on me, you know. It's like it just vacuumed the whole thing into my mouth.
¿Cuáles son tus clases favoritas?
It's a testament to human engineering, honestly. I think the whole idea of like food technology, it's such a testament to how refined satisfaction that food technology has come to try to get you to eat unregulated, just completely unhinge your jaw and throw everything in your mouth. Yeah. Although, hear me out. If you ever get a chance to like spend a week or two away from that stuff, a little goes a really long way then. Like, it feels like honestly, it feels like euphoria sometimes, where like you spend most of your time like maintaining and like trying to regulate your consumption and whatnot, and then on those days, like on a weekend, you get a little treat. Like after a while, you can kind of manage it. Like you don't lose control immediately, but those little bags, you know, you get those like 100-gram bags. They taste like exceptionally even better. Like what I mean is, even those who are spoiled by comparing like, oh, which bag of potato chips is good, even the low shelf potato chips, like those like less hoity-toity potato chips, they taste like out of this world, because they are, because, you know, if you spend most of your time eating, you know, 2 servings of greens with your fish fillet and a serving of white rice and like one sunny side egg, and that's it for your major meal every single day. You see that bag of Cheetos when you're outside. When I go to Otakon, I go to like the CVS or the pharmacy, just so I'm like, all right, I'm out. Let's go grab this muscle milk, or like, let's grab this muscle milk that's clearly filled with stuff, and then let's go grab a bag of Doritos, and yeah, sure, why not? Whatever this limited edition Mountain Dew is, I'm gonna just go to town. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but your body can handle these things, and those things get accented so much. Like, so much. Like, for me, my meal is, I have a pickle. I actually consume a pickle before I consume my meal. White rice. Romaine lettuce cooked with like garlic. Right, cooked with garlic. 2 fillets, usually grilled. And 1 sunny side up egg, or 2 sunny side up egg. That's it. And water. Maybe like 7 out of 10 times of the day. Yep. ¿Cuáles son tus clases favoritas? And when I was living alone, I did the same thing. So, rice cooker, brown rice, or mixed rice. Mixed rice, you cook it, then you grab tofu, block of tofu, like half block of tofu. So I have these like containers, they're split in half. Take 1 block, tofu, right? Light soy sauce. You mix it with your rice, and then you have either peas or carrots, and then Greek yogurt. And then I eat like oatmeal whenever I need a snack. Just oatmeal with a pinch of salt. Not even sugar, just pinch of salt. And I would consume that most of the time. That's it. It's not fantastic, but then when a coworker comes by and say, "Hey, you want to go out to eat?" It's like, gosh darn, yes. It's like, where do you want to go? We can eat anywhere, because anywhere is a fantastic time. You know?
¿Quieres escuchar la radio?
I'm that guy that when someone says, "Oh, why don't we go eat this time?" It's like, do you think they have an all-you-can-eat or something? Because I would love to go where I would like just engorge. One of the pleasures of life. Yeah.
¿Quieres escuchar la radio?
¿Quieres escuchar la radio? Oh, ¿Quieres escuchar el radio? Wait, what? Oh, no, yeah, that's la radio. I'm like, wait, la radio. Me interesa mucho esta asignatura. Oh no, asignatura. I forgot about that word. It's good to practice. Es bueno practicar deportes. Okay. Esto es muy interesante, ne? I said ne. I'm sorry. That's the Japanese habit coming out there. Mi deporte favorito es soccer. No, I'm just kidding. Wait, is there a separate Spanish word for soccer? Is there a cognate? Because there is basketball instead of baloncesto. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if soccer is a thing. Oh no? Okay. One day, it's like, oh, you know what? The Spanish speakers around the world is like, you know what? We want to join in the confusion. You know what? We're gonna adopt soccer, but we're gonna call it slightly different, like soccer. And then French, French people was like, wait. If you guys get a word, we're just gonna call it like foot, b. And then just like have all the other letters silent. It's like, okay, all right. Wait, what do you mean they do? Soccer is foot? Oh, are you serious? No, you got it. No, you've got to be kidding me. You have to be. I was just joking. Hold up. French word for football. Les foot. Oh my goodness. Informally as les foot. Oh jeez. I swear, I was just kidding. That sounds so French. I was just kidding. I literally thought I was being clever, but I guess not.
Ella quiere.
That's news to me. Now I'm gonna, Spanish needs to get with the program. Where's Spanish's I mean, wait, does Spanish shorten football to foot as well? Is it el foot? That'd be pretty funny actually. No, okay, all right. Ella quiere estudiar otras asignaturas.
Jugar.
I cannot believe, like, today I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I cannot believe it's informally le foot. Oh my goodness. And I could hear it too. Like the accent on foot, but I gotta hear this. This evening I'm gonna like go on the internet and get ear samples of how French say it informally. Me gusta mirar partidos del fútbol. Los? Do I need los? I feel like I need los. Oh, just de fútbol. Okay. Too much.
Interesan.
Whoops.
Interés.
Esta es mi clase preferida.
Preferida. So, what can you tell me about preferida versus favorita? Because that's something that it'll just be going back and forth, as opposed to like having context. What's the nuance between preferida and favorito, which in English, you know, favorite and preference, it's not the same. Well, actually, it's the same but slightly different now. Or like it was a lot more different back then, but it's slightly less different now. Preference is less strong than favorite. There was a time when preference was like different completely, but nowadays I'm not sure. Same in English, you say preferida is like what you prefer and favorita is like your most favorite. Okay, so it lines up with that. I see. Yeah. En las vacaciones las vacaciones siempre ¿qué? Al
Juega.
Pero jugamos al básquetbol. Pero Ben nunca juega con nosotros. Feels bad, man.
Me interesa conocer otros museos.
Otros ¿qué?
Juego.
No.
Juegan.
Okay.
Interesan.
Okay. All right.
¿Por qué no dibuja?
¿Por qué no dibuja? Oh, dibujas. Esta pintura es muy bonita. I didn't even let it finish, so I wouldn't know.
¿A ustedes les gusta este grupo?
Ah.
¿A ustedes les gusta este grupo?
¿A ustedes están grupo? Wait.
¿A ustedes les gusta este grupo?
Wait.
¿A ustedes les gusta este grupo?
Okay. No. No me interesa going. No me interesa ir a esas fiestas. Okay.
Me interesa ir a fiestas.
Okay. ¿Cuándo viajar o viejas o viejas?
A Fernanda le interesa ese libro.
A Fernanda es este libro.
A Fernanda le interesa ese libro.
Oh, ese. Me gusta practicar. What? Jeez. I still can't get over it. Funny. I'm just gonna tell everyone it, even if they know. Jeez. ¿Qué son tus comidas favoritas? What? ¿Cuáles? Now I'm just gonna get hit by ¿cuáles over and over again. ¿Cuáles son tus comidas favoritas? El niño. Venga. Ella quiere estudiar otras asignaturas pinturas. El español es mi asignatura favorita. Or we'll just like pick. No.
Las.
Oops. Not multiple. El. The heck? Oh. Las pinturas del museo son importantes. Okay. El partido son los partidos. El
básquetbol.
No es mi deporte
preferido.
Nosotros dibujamos mucho.
A ellos les interesa México.
Interesa. Dice, no.
A ellos les interesa México. A ellos les interesa México.
It's Mexico. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I just wait. Ah! Oh, I wasn't listening.
¿No te interesa esta conversación?
Oops. ¿No te interesa I'm just making stuff up now. It's like I'm auto-completing all of these things. Like, oh yeah, well, you know, this is a valid question.
No te interesa esta conversación.
All right.
A ellos les interesa México.
Okay. All right, last review, and we're gonna head off. Thanks for the chill evening again. I feel like this is our routine now for the weekend until you're suddenly over there in France, and then it's
Esta
like.
es mi clase preferida.
This is like the chill thing. Now I feel like I should get some kebabs and stuff, and we should chill and have a virtual dinner. I usually eat after stream. It's my one big meal today. Esta es mi clase preferida. Let me know what you end up doing with the spam, though. I'm just saying.
Es bueno practicar deportes.
Los niños dibujan muchas cosas.
That's a weird phrase.
Jugamos.
Jugamos. Jugamos el
básquetbol.
El básquetbol en el invierno.
A Pablo le interesa jugar al béisbol.
You're not going to eat it tonight? You've already eaten a bunch, to be honest. I'm just being gluttonous. When I wake up, though, it's gone. Ah, man.
A Pablo le interesa jugar al béisbol.
Le interesa al béisbol.
Interesa al béisbol. Jugar
al béisbol. Have a good night and glad to see you learning like usual and nice seeing you type. Oh, hey, Curdle. Yeah, good luck. Thanks for chilling. Good night, Curdle. Hope Hope you had a wonderful day. Hope you continue to have many more wonderful days. Up, up, and away. Right? Catch you on the next one, Colonel. Let's see. Is German your favorite? Alemán es tu asignatura favorita? El alemán. Oops, I forgot the...
El grupo toca en el concierto el sábado.
Okay.
El
grupo, ¿eh?
El grupo toca en el concierto el sábado.
Toca.
El grupo toca en el concierto el sábado. El grupo toca en el concierto.
Oh.
El
Oh, okay. In the concert. Oh, I see.
A ti no te interesa la música.
A ti no le interesa la música.
A ti no te interesa.
Oh, wait, that makes sense.
Música.
A ti. Oh, no accent on a ti. Whoops. No dibujo bien.
Me interesa mucho Duolingo.
I totally missed the last thing.
Me interesa mucho Duolingo.
Oh. Not sponsored. Queremos jugar otros deportes.
El Museo de Arte Moderno está lejos.
Oh my gosh. Wait, can I do this? Hold up. Oh, no. The Museum of Modern Art, but you could say Modern Art Museum. Take it. Yeah, take that.
Yo conozco a muchas personas europeas.
That was a little aggressive.
Yo conozco a muchas personas europeas. Conozco
what? A muchas
personas
europeas.
Yo conozco a muchas personas europeas.
Okay. Europeas. Oh, we are interested in soccer.
No interesa el fútbol.
Alright.
Escuchamos
la radio
en la mañana.
Radio. I just heard radio. All of a sudden. There's ra all over the place. That sounded a little lewd, out of context. Just ra all over the place. All right. And then last but not least, let's look at what's for my evening, and then we'll head out. What do we have today? We have 3 pods. What do you have? Art gallery conversation. That checks out, right? Because we have art gallery conversation. This could very well be a Lucy thing, because honestly, Lupin. Oh, have you watched that show, by the way, ST? You should watch that if you haven't. It's a great French series on Netflix. I say Lupin, but Lupin. Oh, it's a good one. I don't know if they're gonna come out with more seasons though. You've seen the first two, you think when it first came out? Just the first 2 episodes? Yo, give it a watch though. You need stuff to watch. Yeah, the French stuff. I think the French is understandable in context. I kind of gather a lot from it actually. Museums. Sorry, because of this unit. This comprehensible input. Blasphemous. The French is calling it. I have watched quite a lot of French things, and honestly, anime is no short of incorporating French things. I have French family friends, actually, so it wouldn't be out of the question. Maybe we'll just keep that on the back burner. All right, keep that on the back burner. This whole like unit reminds me of that show. That's why. Daily tennis. Okay, that now we're not in French. We're not in the territory anymore. Although the French Open, Roland Garros. Okay, daily tennis. This is totally Lin because daily tennis sounds exhausting. And museums and paintings. Honestly, I could kind of see Falstaff. But there's no human involved. So it's probably Lily because it's less interesting. Not very interesting. What is our adventure? The Quest of Karaoke. Oh, you know what? How do French people say karaoke? Now that I think about it. The quest for karaoke. Say what? Karaoke? Karaoke. I only learned karaoke after leaving my house. Like, leaving the nest. My parents say karaoke because that's how karaoke is karaoke. But then I later discovered that karaoke is actually karaoke. And then now I'm rediscovering. You did not know the Japanese pronunciation? It's also the Chinese pronunciation. Yeah, karaoke is also the Chinese pronunciation. So it's kind of funny. I actually don't know what the origin of karaoke is. Hold up. Like origin. Japanese. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely Japanese. It's like karaoke with the French R. Oh man, I have no idea. Okay. I will have to. Okay, now I have to get French person pronouncing in the evening pronouncing karaoke. And foot. Le foot. Jeez. This is how you get interested in other languages, all right? That's what you do. You know? You have to get interested, right? All right. Thanks for chilling again, SD. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully your days are going well. Planning, working towards your French, right? Exams coming up soon, right? You're gonna ace it, right? As far as I remember, your exam is very soon now. Or did you just take it already? Pretty sure you told me your exam June 13th. Yeah, it's coming soon. Anyways, thanks for chilling. Alright, folks. That's a wrap for Duolingo Spanish Day in Spanish. If you're gonna watch this later, muchas gracias, right? As always, feel free to stop by or leave your hot takes in the comments. Be ready to discuss. It's always fun to discuss. Make fun but laugh together about language, right? That's what natural languages are all about. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Hasta luego. Bye bye.